Hey everyone, so I'm currently at the Atlanta airport getting ready for a flight, and I just wanted to post a quick video and show you guys a recent production that I had where I was utilizing the light bank air modifiers. And I also want to show you a cool modification that you can do with them to create a really awesome, almost like a book light. Okay, so it is Wednesday, October 23rd at 4:40 p.m. Just got a text that someone needs me to do a shoot tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Not a big deal. The only issue is I was currently packing for another shoot next week that is completely different. So I have to pivot and start packing for this shoot, get batteries charged, camera built and prepped, media formatted. Luckily, it's a pretty simple shoot. It's a single camera, and then it's audio package, lighting package, and a teleprompter. So nothing too crazy. It's only probably going to be about a 2-minute script. We'll just do a few different takes on it. Most of the time we'll be setting up and tearing down. So probably only going to be about 2 hours total. All that to say, I got to quickly pivot and pack for this shoot tomorrow. My biggest dilemma every single time is I can only really pack when there's like sunlight. Pack my van, that is. I live in a pretty like rural neighborhood, so there's not like street lights or anything like that. And my shop doesn't have electricity, so I don't have lights out there. So it gets a little tricky when I'm trying to pack at nighttime. I like to do most of my packing during the day, and then I don't have to worry about it at night. So just waiting on batteries, gonna build camera, and then should be good to go. I'll see you guys over there. Okay, so I am getting the FX9 teched out for tomorrow. I always like to format media, dial in camera settings based off of tech specs for the shoot tomorrow and kind of what they need. So that way I just have to pull a camera out and I'm ready to go frame it up. But this has me thinking, I just watched David Moorfield's video and the compatibility issue he's been having with his FX6 setup and the battery plate and the media situation. So I'm getting a little freaked out as well, which, you know, I've never had any issues using a third-party battery plate. I've used them obviously on my FX3 setups, also in my FS5 setups, running a third-party battery, and then in my case using gold mounts. So with the FX9, I guess luckily you have to use these XQD cards, which Sony kind of have the monopoly on them. I don't think they're proprietary. I have seen other companies sell cards, but I think Sony's pretty much the only one that really does them. So that is one good thing that I have going, is that these are Sony cards. They're not third party. But I am using this wooden camera accessory plate. Okay, so I just made it to location. It's about 9 o'clock here in downtown Little Rock. And I just I got here about 30 minutes early because I want to be able to unload the innovative cart and get things kind of repacked and make sure I got everything on the cart, so I only have to make one trip instead of having to come back. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll see you guys up there. So the location we were filming in was not ideal. Every time I moved a light, I could see it in the reflection. So it was not an ideal situation filming in that location, but that's where the client wanted to film. We were trying to match a frame from the previous video that they had shot in that same conference room. So it was very hard trying to match that frame where I wasn't part of that shoot. So ideally, it would have been awesome if I could have filmed the way I wanted to film, but they were very specific in trying to match a frame. So I was really happy that I brought the tube lights with me. If I didn't bring those with the grids, I'm not really sure how I would have even lit this scene, just with the reflections and shooting directly against the wall of glass. It would have been extremely hard. So I was happy that these tube lights worked out the way they did, and I think it was the right choice in bringing these and testing them out. And this was a lot of setup for a quick interview. So we only recorded for about 10 minutes of real time, and I had about an hour to set up and an hour to tear down. So very short shoot, but I'm glad I had enough time to set everything up. On a shoot like this, when you're just a one-man band, it is extremely difficult trying to do a teleprompter as well as monitor camera and monitor audio. So luckily I was able to make everything run smoothly and we didn't have any issues, but I don't often like doing that just because I feel like there is a lot of room for error. So yeah, I'm glad this one worked out fine. So working as a one-man band, you have to have a solution for wrangling gear, and that's why I like using the innovative cart as much as possible, just because I'm able to make one trip and have everything I need on the cart, as opposed to having to go back to the car every 5 minutes and grab a piece of equipment that I forgot. But yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing in working as a solo one-man band, is you got to have good organization and you got to have efficiency.
Thank you so much. Have the best day of your life.
So this is the big giant soft light that I've been messing around with the last couple of weeks, utilizing this air bank light bank tube that's just a modifier for a Bowens mount. So you can take any existing light that has a Bowens mount and use this light bank. And then I've just been draping essentially a shower curtain. I'll turn off the light so you can see. A shower curtain via Velcro on top here. Then this is just a thermal blanket that I cut to size that is acting as a backing for this whole setup, as well as I have some ciders. So you wouldn't really need to use any flags unless you needed to really, shape the light even more. But this has a backing, ciders, and then it's just a shower curtain in front. And this is about maybe 6 feet tall, this whole setup here. So you could use it as like a really nice soft key light, essentially. And it's all on a roller stand right now. So you could move this around wherever you need to. You can position it wherever you need to. If you had batteries on here, that would be a good portable setup as well if you need to be on the move. And just have, you know, a roller stand like that. You wouldn't need this cable. But yeah, the thing I like about this whole setup, this diffusion, the light bank air tube, that whole thing will fit into a backpack. So there's no actual physical frame or anything like that. This whole thing will fit into a backpack. Now, using this GVM 650 is a little overkill for this setup, but I just wanted to test out this light. I'll probably do a review on this in a future video, but for now, I just wanted to test it. The only thing I will say, if you use a light fixture, you have to have a pretty solid yoke because there is a little bit of a weight here. So you have to be able to have something that you can really crank down so that it doesn't flop. I've tried it with a more portable light, like a Molus Zhiyun light, and the yoke is not strong enough to really support this. It just starts like kind of slowly going down. So you need something with a strong yoke. So, you know, it could be a Zhiyun B500 or any sort of light that has a pretty solid yoke, even like Aperture 300Ds, that sort of thing. But yeah, this is a really great setup if you need to be lightweight, mobile, and if you need to travel. So usually I won't bring a book light if I'm flying. There's not enough space to bring a frame and all that. So this works great if you need to fly. You know, if you have a portable light, this whole setup will fit in a backpack. You could literally fit this whole thing probably in a roller bag like that. Just that's your key light. You have all that ready to go. I would recommend probably a smaller fixture. The 650 is pretty overkill for this, especially because you can only output 300 watts before you start burning the tube. So anything rated for 300 watts and under would be better. This is just the only light I had to test out for right now. But yeah, I mean, this is a great little book light setup. So let's see, I'll dim it way down so you guys can kind of. So 10%, you know, you got a nice looking key light for sure. This would work great for interviews, or even if you just need to light a whole space, you know, and just want soft light everywhere. Let's try and warm it up to match the interior. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm excited to use this for interviews. Me personally, I'm going to be using something like this for interview settings and corporate interviews, that sort of thing. And it just creates a nice soft light. You can literally get a nice soft wrap and a very small footprint. You don't need to bring, you know, a huge 6x frame and all that. But yeah, we decided to decorate for Christmas earlier this year just because I am going to be gone for this 10-day trip to Europe. So normally we do it day after Thanksgiving, but because I'm getting back like the day before Thanksgiving, just made more sense to decorate before I left. So chaos, but all good.